Hey y'all, it is seed popping time. So this is one of the most exciting times of the year. It's a little labor intensive. Full disclosure, I've already popped most of our seeds. I just really had to make sure and get that done this weekend and didn't have time to do it. Plus I do it inside, so it's not really good for videos in there. But a lot of people have asked how we go about popping our seeds, so just wanted to share our technique. But this does not mean this is the only way to do it. It's just how we do it, and I'll explain some of the logic as well. So anyway, first of all, starting out, I am going to be using, and I'm not a huge fan of using plastic, but this is called like a plastic bag or ziplock bag paper towel technique. And the reason that I do use this technique is instead of just planting the seeds in the soil, because right now we're in April, it's still really cool outside, but a lot of the seeds that we're growing, the landraces, a lot of them are tropical. So if it's cold and I have seeds in the soil, those seeds are acclimated to a warm, tropical, hot environment. So when that soil gets cold at night, it may actually stall out the seeds, or they may not even pop. So for that reason, I found that doing the paper towel Ziploc bag technique on a heat mat. So I need to show you guys this. This is a heat mat, like a seed sprouting heat mat. So really important if you want to do this, and if you're working with tropical seeds that don't like being cold, you really want to get yourself a heat mat. So this is a heat mat. And then on top of the heat mat, absolutely essential, I'll even show you this, you have to get one of these thermostats. So what it is, this is a little heat probe here, and this is the thermostat. And how it works is you take your heat mat and you plug it into the thermostat like that. You plug the thermostat into the wall, and then you're going to end up putting your heat probe with your seeds, and I like to set it at 90 degrees. So and 90 degrees may sound hot, but keep in mind that's just like body temperature. So I keep it at 90 degrees, and I've had really good success with like African sativas, Southeast Asian, tropical sativas will all sprout. So anyway, that said, get yourself a heat mat. Absolutely get the thermostat. If you don't have the thermostat, you could either cook your seeds or be too cool. So you really need to control the temperature with a thermostat. Anyway, what we're going to do now is we're actually going to take these nice Vietnam black seeds that I have from last year's plants. And the first thing I do is write Vietnam black. Absolutely, you got to label everything and have lots of Sharpies on hand. Now I'm going to show you next thing we do. I like using hydrogen peroxide. I don't even know if it does anything, but I've been doing it for years, and kind of my theory, without proving it out fully scientifically, is that the hydrogen peroxide, first of all, like will kill off any little molds or funguses or eggs, like aphid eggs or something that might carry over from last season. So I'm just giving these seeds a little rinse, and this is 3% hydrogen peroxide. Do you want to come in on here? So I'm just going to throw in a little over 10 seeds there. And then at this point, because I don't like burning my flesh with hydrogen peroxide, especially getting it under your fingernails, really hurts. So I'm going to stir that around and just let these sort of marinate just for a minute or so. And in my theory, in my imagination, that's killing any molds or funguses that may have carried over, or aphid bug seeds or larvae or anything. You get what I mean? Now, next trick or step for the paper towel. 1, 2, 3, 4. This may be excessive for that amount of seeds. I like the Hippy Dippy brown paper towel, because first of all, it's supposedly not bleached, and then also it helps you with seeing your seeds when they pop. It's a lot easier to see them against that brown background. So what I'm doing here is I have nice warm water. So I'm going to introduce these seeds into a nice, soothing, warm seed bath. So that's just water. I had a little tiny bit of hydrogen peroxide in there as well. Not too much. Just like that much. I mean, just a splash. It's probably not doing anything. But again, a lot of this is just ritual. Now, so I folded that over a bunch of times, right? And now I am ready to make my little sandwich, my seed sandwich. So I'm going to take my seeds, and I'm just going to put them on here. And hydrogen peroxide, there's a lot of people who think hydrogen peroxide also is very helpful with sort of loosening up the shell of the seed to help it crack open. So I don't actually rinse the peroxide off. And then I need to get my glasses. And then what you want to do is spread your seeds out. Give them, room, because when they pop and germinate, when they shoot out that taproot, if they're too close to each other, they may actually get all, like, grow into each other and kind of have like a Siamese twin thing going. And then you have to do like surgery to try and move them apart from each other, and you may end up breaking them. So there we have them fairly evenly displaced. So close the sandwich. I'm going to press that down so no seeds fall out. And then you want to move back. Do you think it was in focus?
I don't know.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll find out. All right. And then I just slide that in there, seal up the bag, done. So that's it, and then I'll show you kind of where, I'm gonna pick up this. You don't want to get your seed stock wet, so I'm taking off that glove to close it. And that's it, and then I'm going to show you, we're going to go put this in my room, inside where I have a heat mat, and I'll show you that whole thing. So anyway, you got that part. Cool. Okay, now we're in, actually this is the room I usually dry our cannabis in, but right now we're using it to do our seeds, because you do have to do this portion inside. So right here, what I'm going to show you is many, many, many of our seeds that have already popped. And as you can see, here's that heat mat that I talked about. Here is the thermostat. It's set at 90, and right now it's a little low, it's like 91, and it'll fluctuate. But see how this heat probe is on the bottom of my seeds. It's underneath all those seeds, and then what I do is I put a towel over it to insulate it, and then it keeps this whole little zone right around 90 degrees. Anyway, so what I'm going to do right now is just take these Vietnam black seeds that you just saw us spew, and I'm just going to put it right here on top. And then just going to cover it, and nighty night, put those guys to bed. So that one's at 90. Now, I always have a serious fear of technology breaking because a lot of this equipment's cheap. So for redundancy and sanity's sake, I also have a thermometer here with another heat probe going to a different plate of seeds just to make sure I'm getting an accurate reading, and this is 90 degrees as well. So always like to do, when you're dealing with lots of rare seeds, you want a little redundancy and security and make sure your equipment's working right. So anyway, there we go. Everything's just at this nice, beautiful 90 degrees, at least under the plates. And let's see, how long do we do this? Probably, I will start checking the seeds in 36 hours from when I put them in the bag and put them under here. I usually check, sometimes I'll check 24 hours at first to see if they're really exploding, but usually everything starts really popping around 36 hours. So when you pop your seeds, plan ahead 36 hours from when you want to start checking, and once they're popped, you're going to need to be ready to transfer them immediately into your soil, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, and the final step, but something you've got to prepare for while you're popping your seeds. While you're popping your seeds, you've got to get your soil ready, because when those seeds pop and germinate and the little taproot comes out, you absolutely want to be able to transfer them to soil like immediately. So I want to show you this, if you want to cruise along here. This is the first beginning phase of all of our where the seeds are going to go. So, and we'll try and shoot a video. So when the seeds pop and the little taproot comes out, we're then going to put them in here. Very important too, you need to get your little marker stakes so you know what all these seeds are. So these are things you have to plan ahead for when you pop your seeds. You absolutely have to get these right. And by the way, these are these 4-inch pots. Absolutely love these. This is kind of the perfect starter size in my opinion. It allows your plants to get fairly big, you know, about this high before they need to be transplanted to a 5-gallon bucket. So anyway, these are all full and ready. I actually use, for this, I use Happy Frog. The Fox Farms Happy Frog soil. It's got a higher peat content, so it's a little, it holds the seed a little better, and it's a little less nutrient, so it's not super hot, won't burn your seeds. So anyway, make sure if you pop seeds that you have a place to put them though. Really important, and make sure, and by the way, I like all these different cards with all these different colors. It's a little easier to organize your seeds by color as well. But you got to have your Sharpie ready to go too. Anyway, hope that's helpful. Kind of scrambling a little bit, but just wanted to share that's how it's done. And hopefully we'll be able to get you a video when the seeds pop of how we then place them in these pots. All right, it's on.